I spent quite a bit of time just walking the slums of Sierra Leone. And during that time, I really discovered that nobody has a plan as to how you deal with low-cost housing in a country that is regularly one of the bottom 3 of the world's poorest. My name's Nigel Hyde, and I'm the founder and chief executive of Home Leone. There was a whole part of Freetown, which is the capital, which is just absolutely dreadful. And if you look at a city like that, well over half the people living in that city, which is probably somewhere around 500,000 to 800,000 people, live in the most appalling slums you could ever see. I wanted to say, well, what could we do to make a real difference here? You know, many big NGOs have been doing little programs through these people, such as women empowerment or healthcare, and yet very little seems to have changed in the entire 12 years since I've been going to the country. So I went to see the number of ministers and said, well, what's your plan for the slums and for low-cost housing? And the reality was they don't have one, but they did say, well, could you help us develop one? It's like everybody says there's a problem, but nobody wants to implement a solution. When it came to low-cost housing, because it's a major infrastructure cost, nobody was interested. So the only way to get going was to be the partner in country, which is why we've set up Home Leone both in the UK and in Sierra Leone. You need people with experience and expertise who will actually say, I'll go and live there and I'll work alongside local people, we'll educate people, we will bring challenge and change, but people who are prepared to leave their life behind in the UK and actually go out and personally make a difference in the lives of what we believe will be thousands of people.
I love this country so much. It's just the atmosphere, the people, the vibe, their unbelievable ability to do life and community together, and it's just inspiring. It's so different to how we do it in the West. I guess so many NGOs come in with kind of helicopter themselves in with the idea that they know best, and actually what I want to do here is look how people are living already, learn from it, be inspired from it, and then use that to kind of rationalise it into a big scale project.
Around this country, nobody is technically addressing the issue of housing from the perspective that Home Leone is doing it. My name is Moses Sise, and I am the Community Development Manager for Home Leone. It's huge when you look at it in creating a new village, putting all the installations, all the facilities in a new village is huge. To see that being multiplied across the country or in different places across Freetown would make a huge difference in addressing the needs.
We can build a house for £5,000. Now you just think how much your own house costs. Just think how little £5,000 is in terms of what accommodation you can get for that here. When you're trying to build an organisation in a country such as this, there are a number of barriers to you doing that.
People won't give money if they think that it's going to go towards, you know, like the running costs. Same with funding. They don't want it to go towards core costs. They'll only want it to go towards project costs. You know, you do see funds being spent really irresponsibly, and it's like, how do you say, like, I'm not part of a company that does do that. I don't want to be part of a company that would send you out and stay in a 5-star. Like, I don't want that.
For this project to be sustainable, ultimately we need political will from the government. It's been difficult because, again, housing is not on the agenda at the moment.
So a lot of the things that have informed what Home Leone is doing is not what somebody has determined from sitting in an office. It's what has come to pass as a result of community involvement and partnership. And that for us is a value and a principle that Home Leone has.
It's a project led by the people through participation, engagement, to hopefully provide a movement in this country for social housing, but through the avenue of empowering the people to design it themselves so it's sustainable, so it works. And so as well, it champions the beauty of Sierra Leonean culture and works.
I have always said it's not Home Leone just moving people, it's people being willing to move because of the alternatives that Home Leone is presenting.
We just don't have the money or the people yet all in place to build a whole team. So it's gradually, step by step, we're designing the first compound, we're going to build that, deliver that, make that happen, and then the whole thing can be multiplied. And so the amazing thing is just the momentum that's being built as we try day by day to overcome the different challenges.
This is just a kind of avenue for meeting people's basic needs like housing, jobs, to empower them to mobilise themselves, develop themselves in community or progress in whatever way that they need.
When you give person fish, you dey feed them for today no more. But when you land the person out for fishing, you dey feed them for the rest of your life.